Hi there, welcome to my video. Today I'm going to be doing a little video on me doing some cosmetic surgery on a 2x4. The video features some bad camera angles because I didn't use my big tripod. It features some sped up portions because I edited out the most annoying parts of the video. And to cover over the whine of a small motor, it also features some royalty-free music. So if you got nothing better to do for the next few minutes, get yourself comfortable, have a watch. Thanks for tuning in. Now for the video. Alright, so here we are in my project building, and today I'm going to be working on the beams here. I got these beams that go across. And the original building had 5 beams. You can see now there's 1, 2, and 3. Now the 4th beam is this one that's laying here on my workbench. It's 10 feet long, and then the last beam is this one that's resting here outside. And you can see it's in pretty rough shape. It's not really round at all. It's squared on 2 edges, right? And then this is the outer part, and this is a piece of oak. It's either oak or hickory. It's a really hard wood, so hard that it was the last beam to put in place back here, and it was so hard that they never even bothered to nail it in place. It was just laying up there all the years that this building had been here till I decided to take it apart and refurbish it. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to put the 4th beam in place. But unfortunately, you can see it had a crack here at one point that took off. Let me look at it from the end here. There you go. You can see there's a chunk of this missing. And this piece right here, I just recently glued into place. Matter of fact, let me rotate this up and around. You might be able to see there's some little glue right here where the clamp was. This piece was originally broken off. Now I could still put the beam in, and what I'm going to be doing today is purely cosmetic, but I kind of want to repair this broken part that's right in here. Now you can see what happened. When it broke off, my great Uncle O'Leary nailed it. There was a nail here, a nail here, and a nail here. And when he nailed it, it split down the middle. So he tried to repair the piece and he ended up making it even worse than it was originally. So now this has been glued. You can kind of see where the glue dripped down, right? Matter of fact, I found another piece of wood. I was going to use the scrap. I was going to use this scrap right here to repair that because it's the same dimension wood. But as you can see, once I get my visual here, that there's nails in it, right? And there is a crack that you can see light going right through. Matter of fact, if I rotate it over, you can see it on the end that I cut off. There's a crack that goes right through this whole board. And true to form, Uncle O'Leary tried to repair it using nails. So you can see right here, there's a nail right here, there's a nail here, there's a nail that's bent over here, and there's another nail down here. I don't know what that one was holding, but he took the broken piece that was on there. There's even some more nail holes here. I don't know if those are part of it. But he took the broken piece and nailed it back in place. So that actually means that that piece of wood right there is no good for what I'm trying to accomplish. So now what I've done is I found another piece, a smaller piece, and I cut a wedge out of it. This is the scrap. This is the actual wedge. And this is what I'm going to utilize to repair that broken part. So I've taken a piece of plywood, and it happened to be an old bed slat, that's why it's painted black. But and I'm going to use this wedge that I cut, and I'm going to put it in that place. But in order to do that, I have to create a smooth surface. Therefore, I have my router, and I have my router with a pattern following bit, and the pattern is going to be supplied by the piece of plywood. So that's where I stand. I'm going to try and carve this out to make a flush plane that will accept that wedge right there, and using my bottle of glue, put that in place, and essentially just make it a nicer looking piece of wood. I have already glued a few things with success. Up here, the length of the building, first of all, I don't know if you can see this. I'm going to zoom in. There is a 2x4 right there that runs all the way down the length of the building. It's 20 feet long. Okay, you don't see 20-foot long 2x4s nowadays, but here it is on this side, the other side of the building. And unfortunately, on this end of the building, you can see some ant damage on this one piece of wood. And if we go up, the ant damage continued all the way up and it ended, and this piece of wood used to look like this piece of wood. But what I've done, you can see I took a bit of a Z cut here, right there. I made a Z cut in this wood, and I used a small piece filler, and I glued that in place and bolted. So you can see the bolt there, and there's another one on the top, and then bolted it here, of course. Glued and bolted, and back off a little bit, and you'd never know. It looks pretty good, and it's pretty solid. So I'm going to try and carve this out to a uniform depth. Hopefully I'll be able to fit that repair piece, that little piece in. If not, I'll just have to fudge something else in there. I would like to have this beam in between this one and that one. These pieces of wood, these are original, and I decided to keep things as original as possible. So as you can see, there's one that's been cut square up here at the top, and on the opposite end, this one was cut at an angle, but not the perfect angle that it should have been cut at. Nonetheless, that's approximately the way the building looked before I took it all apart. But I would like to have one more beam up there on the ceiling, and that's what we're doing today. So let's give it a shot and see what happens. I don't know. Well, it might work. You gotta take it real slow. Might be a bit much for this router. I might have to do this by hand. Alright, it actually looks like it could work here. Seem to have a pretty good cut. somewhat uniform depth. I'm a little worried about the blade. It's a very, very deep cut. I'm gonna just have to take it like really, really slow. See if it's the depth is right. Let me show you what I got so far. Okay, so here's what we're doing. Okay, making this into a fairly flush surface, and I got to gouge out all of this other stuff here. So we'll see what happens. This is going to be a long, slow process, I think. All right, I'm starting to lean on it pretty heavily, so I'm going to back it off so it's closer to the sawhorse. Get the cord out of the way. All right, the wood cut is getting pretty thick, so I'm going to change blades. I'm going to put on a shorter blade and take off a little bit less wood all at once. Okay, now I got a blade in here that's only going to take less than 3/4 of an inch. The other one was about 1 1/4 inches. So this one should go a little easier. That was much easier. All right, now I'm gonna put the longer blade back in. All right, here we go with the big bit. I don't know why the bottom's not. Apparently I'm tilting the router a bit much as I move towards the edge of this, and it's going a little too deep some places. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the rest by hand. I'm just going to saw it with a hand saw. There's only a little bit left. Let me show you what I got. Okay, so here's what the router has done. It's smoothed out this whole thing to make a much easier place for this piece to fit in as soon as I get rid of that high spot right there. And this will fit in. I'll glue it in place and it'll look like a solid beam. All right, so that's where we are right now. I'm going to saw the rest by hand, I think, or maybe chisel, and I'll show you where I am at the end of this step. Stick with the line, baby. There we go. Okay, let's see. I think there's still a little high spot someplace in here. Oh yeah, it's got to be trimmed down. But that's where this is going to fit. And put a little glue in there, and it'll look like it, just like it belonged there. Just like that. Okay. Okay, I'll try a long shot from the, you're on the table saw now, so this is almost done though. Almost got it where it needs to be. I think I can slice up a little bit like that. Let's see how that works. Oh, it ain't perfect, but it's not too bad. Like I said, this is only cosmetic, really. So, all right, I think I'm good here. I'm gonna take off my particle piece here, little plywood. Got the pin nails in there. The pin nailer is very handy. So here we go. Match that up like so. Clamp it, and we're good to go, baby. That's gonna look super. I'll have to match the angle here. I'll cut this off, but I'll do that after the glue's dry. All right. Well, we'll see what happens. There we go. Let it swim in there. And then I gotta have some on this angle part. Match it up. And I put all my clamps away. Awesome. Let's see. One right here. Gotta go both directions at once here. That's it. Look at that glue ooze out of those cracks. We got one more clamp out here. Might as well use them all. Okay. So what do you think? Look clamped up enough? Let's get in a little closer here. That's all the clamps I have outdoors. I probably should get another bar clamp put on the far end. I don't know. Looks pretty good. All right, come back tomorrow and see what happened. Okay, so here we go. It has been about 20 hours since I glued up this 2x4. It's the next day, and I'm about to take the clamps off, and let's see what it looks like. So I'll just pop some of these off. And I'll show you what the end product looks like in a minute now. My wife is going to be coming around the corner. There it is. It doesn't look too bad at all. Take a look. It's pretty obvious where the new piece of wood fits in, but missed a little bit there. And the glue doesn't look all that bad. I'll scrape off some of the excess. And of course, let me rotate this around here. This piece right there, I will obviously cut to match the rest of it. And I don't even know how this was cut. It looks like it was chiseled off. Look at the marks. That's not saw marks right there. So, I don't know. That's my Uncle O'Leary's handiwork. But anyway, there's the repair. And that's going to be going right up here on the ceiling, in between the other two. And that's it. All right. Well, hope you enjoyed my video. Thanks for tuning in.